Good day everyone! We are your presenters for this topic entitled Human Person as an Image of God. So according to Genesis chapter 9 verse 6, Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed, for God made man in his own image. So from this saying, it discusses our topic, human person as an image of God, as we go through the lesson.
Here are some statements on the existence of God. First is from Saint Augustine. According to Saint Augustine, God as an absolute truth. The word absolute is also known as unconditioned, unlimited. The existence of God must be unconditioned. It means na ang pamumuhay ni God ay walang katapusan. Unlike in the case of man, his existence comes from someone of greater power. Gaya ng sa tao, ang kanyang existence ay nagmula sa mas mataas na kapangyarihan. Ang conclusion dito ay lahat ng bagay sa mundo ay limitado. Gaya ng tao na nabubuhay at pwede ring mamatay, pero si God, hindi siya limitado. Siya ay absolute. The next one is man as an image of God. If God is not a part of this world, there must be an image of God to represent Him in this world. Ang ibig sabihin po nun ay di po natin si God actually nakakasama or nakaka-interact physically. Meron pa rin pong magre-represent sa Kanya dito sa mundo natin. Therefore, if we can possibly find His image in this world, then that image must be limited because everything in this world is limited. That means po na if may nakikita po tayong magre-represent sa Kanya, yun po ay limited lamang, which is tayong mga tao ang tinutukoy na magre-represent kay God kasi siya yung lumikha sa atin. For conclusion po, hindi lahat ng bagay sa mundo ay linikha at hindi rin lahat ng bagay ay ginawa. Ang paglikha ay pag-produce galing sa wala, samantalang ang paggawa ay pag-produce galing sa kahit anong material na bagay. Therefore, hindi makakalikha ang tao dahil sa limited ang kakayahan nila at kailangan nila ng bagay para makagawa. Ngunit si God ay kayang lumikha ng kahit ano dahil sa kanyang absolute na kakayahan. And that's all from Saint Augustine's statements of God's existence.
So, ang susunod na i-discuss naman natin ngayon ay yung 5 statement ni Saint Thomas Aquinas about God existence. So, sa unang statement, yun yung the argument from motion. So, Saint Thomas Aquinas concluded from a common observation that an object in motion is in motion by some other objects or force. From this, he believes ultimately that there must have been an unmoved mover, which is yun si God, who first put things in motion. Ang sinasabi dito ni Saint Thomas Aquinas na para sa kanya, lahat ng mga bagay na nakikita nating gumagalaw ay gumagalaw ng hindi kusa, kundi dahil may nagpapagalaw dito. For example, tayo ilagay natin sa posisyon yung mga sarili natin as the object na tinutukoy dito sa statement na to. Sinasabi na gumagalaw tayo dahil binigyan tayo ng kakayahan ng Diyos na mabuhay. And kung hindi niya tayo binigyan ng kakayahan or ng life, hindi natin maserserve yung purpose natin dito sa mundo kung bakit tayo ginawa ng Diyos. So, pangalawang statement, yun yung causation of existence. Aquinas concluded that a common sense observation tells that no object creates itself. He believed that ultimately there must have been an uncaused cause, which is yun si God who began the chain of existence for all things. Sinasabi dito sa statement na to na walang bagay ang kayang gumawa sa sarili nila. Kumbaga lahat ng nakikita natin ng mga bagay-bagay sa mundo ay may pinagmulan or creator. For example, yung Mount Everest, hindi naman yan bigla na lang sumulpot kung nasan siya ngayon. And kung iisipin natin, parang sobrang hirap niya magawa ng kagaya natin ng humans kasi siya nga yung pinakamataas na mountain sa buong mundo, diba? Tapos, sabi ni Saint Thomas Aquinas, naniniwala siya na above of all the things, may pinagmulan yan or creator, which is si God. Si God yung tagapaglikha ng mga bagay na nakikita natin sa mundo. Pangatlong statement, ito yung contingent and necessary objects. The two objects in the universe are the contingent beings and the necessary beings. A contingent being is an object that cannot exist without a necessary being causing its existence. Aquinas believed that the existence of contingent being would ultimately necessitate all of the contingent being to exist. This being called a necessary being, which is God. So, sinasabi dito sa statement na to na may dalawang objects na nag-i-exist dito sa mundo, contingent being and necessary being. So, yung contingent being is yung mga bagay-bagay na hindi mag-e-exist or mabubuhay ng walang necessary being. Kumbaga, kung walang necessary, walang contingent. And sinasabi ni St. Thomas Aquinas dito na tayo or yung mga living things na nabubuhay dito sa mundo ay tayo yung contingent being. Hindi tayo mag-e-exist kung walang necessary being, which is yung necessary being na tinutukoy sa statement is si God. Sa pang-apat na statement ni St. Thomas Aquinas, ito yung argument from Degrees and Perfection. Aquinas formulated this way from a very interesting observation about the qualities of things. This is referred to as degrees or gradation of equality. From this, he concluded that for any given quality, there must be a perfect standard by which all such qualities are measured. Sinasabi ni St. Thomas Aquinas dito na yung mga standards na siniset natin sa isang bagay ay palaging may maximum level na pinanggagalingan. Kumbaga, kaya natin nasasabing maganda yung isang bagay dahil may standards or reference tayo na dapat pagbasehan. Pero yung mga standards ng isang tao, pwedeng magkakaiba yan. Kaya tayo may kasabihang, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Kasi nakadepende pa din sa tao yung ganda ng isang bagay. Kasi maaaring sa akin maganda yung isang bagay, sa'yo hindi. Kanya-kanyang perspective lang yan. Panglimang statement or yung pinakalas niya na statement is yung argument from Intelligent Design. So, Aquinas stated that common sense tells us that the universe works in such a way that one can conclude that it was designed by an intelligent designer, which is si God. In other words, all physical laws and the order of nature and life were designed and ordered by God, the intelligent designer. So, sinasabi sa statement na to na all things in the universe was designed by the great designer, which is God. Kung iisipin mo kung paano gumagalaw at nag-i-interact yung mga bagay dito sa mundo ay sobrang amazing. He designed human to take care of everything because He gives the human the nature to think, to care, to help, and make things beautiful. Katulad din sa mga hayop at halaman, plants, trees, and animals are designed to give beauty sa nature and bigyan tayo ng food. So, and if iisipin mo paano connected ang humans, animals, plants, masasabi mo talaga na sobrang nakaka-amaze kung paano yun nagawa ni God lahat.
So now, let us proceed to the philosopher's concept on man as an image of God. So first, Socrates, a Greek philosopher. So sabi niya dito, the end of life is to be like God, and the soul following God will be like Him. So, since God created us in His own image, sabi niya dito na the end of life is to be like God. So, pag namatay daw tayo, dapat daw tayo ay mapupunta sa piling niya, sa piling ni God. Pero kung hindi tayo napunta sa Kanya, and yung soul mo ay hindi sinusunod, or hindi pina-follow si God, ay mapupunta ka sa eternal suffering. So, yung image ni God, bilang ikaw, hindi niya nakita sa'yo, kaya hindi ka napunta sa kanya. So, di ba nga, sabi natin, God is good. So, ito yung mga katangian ni God na kailangan na ipakita natin sa ibang tao para tayo ay mapunta sa piling niya. So, yung soul daw na sumusunod sa kanya ay magiging katulad niya. So, kung ikaw ay salbahe at masamang tao, parang dinidisregard mo yung sarili mo as an image of God. Dahil hindi mo sinusunod yung mga katangian ni God na meron siya. So, in the end of your life, you will not be with God because you did not apply the characteristics of God. So, the next Greek philosopher is Plato. So, sabi niya dito, a human being is a toy of God, so we must live playing. So, sinasabi niya dito na yung buhay natin is planado na ni God, and we must live playing para ma-achieve natin or ma-fulfill natin yung plano niya para sa atin. Kaya sinasabi niya na dito na a human being is the toy of God kasi parang sinasabi niya na a human being is a creation of God na pinakaiingatan niya. So, tayo naman bilang pinakaiingatan niya ay dapat tayo ay mabuhay sa kagustuhan niya. So, live with the likeness of God. Kung ano yung mga gusto niya o yung mga likeness niya, yun yung gawin natin. Syempre, isa na dito yung gumawa tayo ng kabutihan sa ating kapwa. So, next is Aristotle. So, sabi dito ni Aristotle na the man who is content to live alone is either a beast or a god. Kasi 'di ba, may kasabihan nga tayo na no one is an island. Kasi lahat tayo ay nabubuhay ng may kasamang tao. 'Di ba nga, tuwing pagkabuhay pa lang natin, may pamilya na tayo, ganon. So, ang tao daw na namumuhay ng mag-isa ay parang isang beast or parang si God. Kasi kaya nilang mamuhay ng mag-isa.
Friedrich Nietzsche, a German philosopher, which is it? Is man one of God's blunders, or it is God one man's blunders? So, sinasabi dito or kinukwento niya kung ang tao nga ba isang pagkakamali ni God. Kasi nga 'di ba, God created us in His own image. Pero yung ibang tao ay hindi sumusunod sa Kanya. Or kung si God nga ba isang pagkakamali ng tao. Kasi dito sa pangalawa, parang kino-consider natin si God na parang pinaglalaroan niya lang tayo. Minsan 'di ba may mga tanong tayo kung bakit may mga taong may hirap, kung bakit may mga taong mayayaman. Bakit siya matangos, bakit ako pango? It is because God has a perfect plan for us. Next is Jacques Maritain, a French philosopher. The philosopher says that God's knowledge is measure of the thing, and that thing is a measure of man's knowledge. So just like what Saint Thomas Aquinas said in his argument, from the degrees and perfection that are perfect standard, that all qualities, abilities, and everything that we know is yung basis natin from God. So sinasabi niya na God's knowledge is measure of the things that all we know was always from Him.
So, ayon kay Johnny Erickson Tada, an American evangelist, your heart, mind, hands, and feet are stamped with the imprint of the Creator. Little wonder that the devils want you to be ashamed of your body. So, ayon kay Tada na yung puso, isip, kamay, at paa daw natin ay mula sa Panginoon at sinasabing kawangis natin. Hindi tayo ginawa ng Panginoon as perfect being. Lahat tayo ay may individual difference. So, yung sinasabing little wonder dito that the devil wants you to be ashamed ay yung kapag gaya nga ng sinabi ko na di tayo pare-parehas ay dun sumitsyempo yung devils na yung imperfection mo, ipaayos mo. Halimbawa, kung pangu ka at may nag-utos sa'yo na maganto ka or magpatangos ka, di na siya gawa ng Panginoon. So, yung katawan mo na binigay niya, simula ng pagkakapanganak mo, ay binago o dinagdagan mo, di na siya gawa ni God. Gawa na siya ng devils. Next is si Suzy Kassem, an American philosopher. If all men are made in God's reflection, then why do some people continue to accept only what is in their part of the mirror? So, sinasabi dito sa first statement na yung physical body natin, pero yung physical body natin mula sa reflection ni God, pero yung characteristics natin is within self. Kung tayo sa sarili natin, di natin mahal yung sarili natin at nagbe-base lang tayo sa physical appearance, so di di nila tinitake na yung characteristic natin as reflection of God. For the second statement, if every man was created equal and in the image of God, then how can any man claim that one race is better another? So, for the second statement na parang hesitated sila sa paniniwala kay God because they said that we are made equally. So, parang ganito siya. Kapag kinwestiyon mo si God na kung bakit siya ang ganda niya, ba't ako hindi? Ba't siya matalino? Ako hindi. It just mean na nababawasan yung faith mo kay God. Lahat tayo dumadaan sa trials at pagsubok. It is only part of our trials because God has a perfect time and plan for us. Next is si David Dokusen. As image bearers of the same Father, each one of us reflects a different aspect of the beauty of God. So, ayon kay Dokusen na gumawa si God ng different ethnicities, tribes to represent different aspects. This different aspect of Him. Pero pag nakita yun ni God na we are united as one, makikita yung fullness of beauty. Pero kung patuloy ang discrimination, separation, mawawaste yung greatest gift ni God sa atin. Kung kaya di makikita yung pinaka full reflection ng kanyang beauty. So, when we separate ourselves from others who are different from us, we cannot see the fullness of beauty of God. So, halimbawa sa Miss Universe or beauty pageants, pag sinabi natin na mas maganda ang Philippines compare sa Africa, pero para sa atin lang yun. So, sabi nga na as image bearers of the same Father, each one of us reflects a different beauty of God. Sinasabi nga na the beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Sa second statement, di raw natin makikita ang fullness of beauty of God. Makikita yung fullness of beauty of God. Kagaya nga ng example ko na about sa Miss Universe, lahat sila magaganda dahil walang ginawang pangit si God. Kung sa pakiramdam mo may kulang sa'yo, huwag mo i-exclude yung sarili mo from others kasi di makikita yung kahalagahan mo.